Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Alexei, the first thing I want to hop into is this Bollywood movie that you did, and you played a Russian as an American. Like what's going on, man?
Yeah, man, that was definitely a fun trip. I got this opportunity. My background is actually my dad is from Ukraine and my mom is Russian, so I speak it fluently. But yeah, I was born in America and I'm American raised. But I grew up boxing, and one of my coaches, she does a lot of like boxing documentary films and all this stuff. And they were like, "Hey, we need a USSR boxer for this role, just a quick little role." And I was like, "Why not? Free trip to India, get paid on top of that." They took care of me, seeing a whole different country that I probably would never go otherwise to. So yeah, it was a really cool experience.
Was that your first experience like acting or being in any type of like movie or anything like that?
Yeah, apart from YouTube videos I did as a kid, yeah. That was my only acting. Yeah.
We gotta find those, man. What did you do as a kid? What kind of YouTube videos were you making?
Man, everything. Me and my brother would just make like Nerf videos. It was a lot. It was a lot. I think there's still a couple up on YouTube, but my fiance still makes fun of me for them. So
Is the movie out yet?
yes, it is Chandu Champion. Yeah, I believe it's. I'm not really sure if it's being streamed anywhere, like on TV, but I know it came out in theaters. I know my parents already watched it. Weird thing is, I actually haven't watched it yet. That's the weird part.
Well, it could be a second career, right? You go into Bollywood. Bollywood's a little different from Hollywood, so maybe there's money there.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I put on a show like where we're doing all the breaks and stuff like that. I was like doing backflips on the ring and like just showing my athleticism off, and like the crowd was going wild, like even when they weren't filming on the shoot. So yeah, I feel like I just kind of brought my name in there. Hopefully, maybe one day they'll call me out for some other scene, whatever it is. I'm down to go.
For sure, man. Hopefully, one of those like martial artsy type movies. Bollywood goes crazy with those. Now,
Exactly.
let's talk about your PFL career so far. You debuted 2022, fought twice that year. Then 2023, fought twice. Seems like you'd like to fight in August, man, because this upcoming fight is also in August. Is August like a special month for you or something?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say so. It was just like I guess it just lines up that way. I think I definitely would like to fight 2 to 3 times a year. Like I'm pretty happy, pretty content with fighting at least two, but three would be great, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for this year. Is even though I'm kind of starting late in this year, I was supposed to start off in March actually, but I was kind of dealing with a little injury, and I said no. So that's kind of on me. I was supposed to fight for Bellator as soon as they merged with PFL. But yeah, I declined that just because I wasn't healthy. I wasn't 100% yet. But yeah, now I'm 100% and everything's cleared. I'm feeling amazing, feeling great. And yeah, maybe August, August is a special month.
Yes, for sure. You mentioned not taking the fight because of an injury. How important is that? Because most fighters they would have just fought. I mean, you've been around camps. You've seen fighters. They're like, oh, I got an injury, but man, this is an opportunity. I'm just gonna take it. What went into the decision making? Was it on you, or was it like a collective decision to not fight?
It was collective. It was me as my manager, as my coach. Just kind of weighing out the options. I feel like yeah, there is a certain extent to when it's smart to take a fight, just kind of being calculated with when you are injured and which fight you do take. Being calculated with that, I think, is very important, and like obviously the pay comes into it. I'm kind of waiting. I'm wanting a new contract before I do take bigger risks like that, and obviously I want it to be worth my time, and just I at least know if it's worth it. If anything happens at all, I want to know like, hey, I came out here and, I did my job. I got the maximum, amount of pay. I got the maximum, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm not going to go in there, sacrifice my body and potentially even tear it even further or injure myself even further. And then I won't be able to fight for another maybe year and a half if that happens.
You said that was around March. So, like, what was the recovery like from the injury? Did it take some time?
Yeah, it took some time. I mean, it wasn't like a huge injury, so it was like pretty fast, pretty easy to heal up. I wouldn't say fast. It was I'm an impatient person, so I would like be taking 1 week off and then going right back to it the next week, and then I'd be like, oh, it doesn't feel right. I'll take another couple days off. I'll go back in. I'm just kind of cycling that the whole time, and it's just like at one point I was just like, hey, I'm gonna take like a week and a half, 2 weeks off, and I did that, and that really helped me. And yeah, I got I got right back to work because I just can't like I can't sit out for too long and not show up to the gym because it's terrible for me.
In the gym, there's guys that are like in their, late 30s, maybe early 40s, and you compare yourself to them. Like, think about the injuries you get, or niggles, or whatever you want to call them, and then compare it to them. Like, do you see a huge difference in yourself, like how you recover compared to them? And they probably talk shit too, probably.
Yeah, oh yeah. I get all these. Anytime I bring up anything, actually, one of my boys, he's in the UFC, Christos Giagos. He
Yeah.
always talks smack about me. He's like, I say anything, I'm like, hey, I got like this little injury, I got this little tweak, whatever. He's like, oh, you're young, you bounce back to it in a week. That's kind of the joke for all of us young guys over there. Like the old guys, they have it rough, and
Yeah, it makes you realize like how fortunate you are, right, at the age that you're at. Because a lot of the guys that fight in their 30s right now, they kind of started late with their careers because MMA wasn't like as big as it is now.
For sure, yeah, I feel like the game has definitely evolved, and I feel like by the time I'm gonna start hitting my peak, we are gonna see those younger, newer generations coming up, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of exciting matchups in the future for me and just for MMA in general, because I feel like now all these kids growing up like me, we started off boxing, wrestling, jujitsu, just everything, and we can mix it together, we can scramble, we can strike. And yeah, I just feel like the sport is evolving so much, and I'm just trying to, keep up and, yeah, just keep growing.
So between recovering from the injury to like getting into camp for this upcoming fight in Nashville, what was the situation for you? Were you involved in other camps, or were you just kind of like isolated training on your own? What were you doing?
Well, I'm always at Kill Cliff.
Mm.
Like I said, I took, 2 weeks off. Well, a little more than 2 weeks, but I just went straight back to Kill Cliff, and, I show up every day. 10 a.m. is our mandatory practice, and, I'm there early all the time. 9 a.m. I do some extra mitt work, some extra bag work, and then yeah, Monday through Fridays, and then I do my strength and conditioning and symmetry fitness 2 to 3 days a week. So I go back to back, and then I do my runs. It's just all day training. It's very taxing, very fatiguing, but I know at the end it's going to be worth it. And yeah, I just love going into the mindset of my fight that there was nothing more that I could have done training wise that would have made me better. I know I gave it 100% maximum effort, and I think that's a big relief for your mental when literally you just have to go out there and you have to perform and you have that confidence going into a fight.
Yeah, and you're at one of the best teams in the world, and at such a young age as well. And then you got all these guys that are in their prime, and you get to train with them and kind of like work the system, because you could kind of like work the system that they're doing and then kind of alter it to what fits you, right?
100%. That's why I think Killcliff is such a great team, and I'm very happy that I made the move 2 years ago. It's just so much different styles of guys that you can learn from. I mean, you're going to go one sparring round with a guy that's amazing at striking, that's going to be hard to keep up with. Another guy's going to be a little quicker. Another guy's going to be really great at wrestling. Another one's going to be great at jiu-jitsu. Another one has top control. It's just like all these different looks that you have to adjust to. I think it's truly amazing just having those experienced partners, and then it's not like they're in there just beating the hell out of you and then just leaving you alone. No, we all learn from each other. We all feed from each other. If a striker's better than a wrestler, we got some of the best wrestlers in there. We got Jordan Oliver. He's an amazing high-level wrestler. Shout out to Jo. He's crazy good, and I was the one who, kind of introduced him to striking a little bit. Like his first day there, I still remember I was like giving him some pointers, giving him some, techniques, and I still do it to this day. And he does the same thing back in return, and it's just we're just feeding information from one to another, and that's how we grow as a team, and that's how we grow as athletes.
Now, your upcoming opponent, Daniel Boehle, I believe that's how you say it. Thoughts on him and the fighting style?
I've known him for a little bit just from the Tennessee local fight scene. I do believe. Now, I could be wrong, and I could be just saying this, but I'm 90% sure that I was supposed to fight him either for my amateur title or for my professional debut. It was one of those. But I remember him denying the fight. But that was back in the day, maybe a couple years ago. So I do remember that. I mean, watching him, he's from KMAA. The last Knoxville guy I fought was in Nashville for the Valor Underground. I got a pretty nasty knockout. And so, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to do the same. I know he's going to be pretty grapple heavy, but I really don't think he has what it takes to be in there with me skill-wise, cardio-wise, mental grit, mental attitude. There's just no way that he's going to be able to keep up my pace, my intensity, and I'm just really excited to go out there. I hope he gives me a great fight. But yeah, other than that, like I'm just going out there. I'm gonna do my thing.
I wonder why he didn't take the fight then, but he's taking the fight now. Even watching the money. Okay, I understand. I understand.
That's the answer for you. Everything's
Yeah.
revolved in around money. Yeah, he got a couple extra bucks, and he's like, all right, I'm in.
All right.
You know.
So Nashville, Tennessee, is it the battle of like kind of like it's a homecoming for you, but on top of that, it's like two Tennessee guys battling against each other in the PFL, cage. Like, does it get any better?
Yeah, man, this is great. I just cannot wait to come back to Nashville. Nashville's like, that's where I grew up. That's like all of where my people are at, my friends. And it's just, I feel like coming back into hometown. The reason I left Nashville just because I started outgrowing my gym a little bit. And I just needed to bring the intensity up and the partners and whatnot. But another thing was I just started getting too comfortable there. Like everything is just so easy when you have so many people you can just, hey mom, hey dad, let me get this. And it's just like I just felt too comfortable. And I'm not a person that wants to be comfortable ever. I want to grow. I want to face adversity every single day, and that's just me, who I am as a person. And not everyone's going to be like that. But I feel like that's what a lot of fighters' mentalities are. They do not want to be in the comfort zone. The people that do usually don't make it too far.
And there's always guys fighting at Kill Cliff. Like who have you been working with closely to get you ready for this opportunity coming up?
For this one again, I have my boy Christos Iagos, UFC lightweight. I think he mimics the style of my opponent pretty good. I think he's gonna be a little bit more wild. Big overhands, big hooks, all that stuff. And then he's obviously gonna be a little more grapple heavy. But Christos is a beast in jiu-jitsu. He's got some of the best grappling, some of the best. I think he's a brown belt or a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So very solid grappling. I know if I can handle myself and I can scramble with that guy. I can sometimes get my submissions off on him. I can, just get great work, great sparring with him. I know, I'll be able to handle the guy I'm about to fight.
Yeah, man. Expectations out of yourself. Do you have expectations entering every fight, or do you kind of just let your mind free and see where it goes?
Man, obviously I am a very self-critical person. I do have high expectations for myself, but for this one, I do feel a little bit more calm. I feel like going to my fifth fight, I do feel like as fights go on, my nerves just keep decreasing a little bit more. But yeah, I just want to go out there. I want to do my thing. I want to put on a show. I love fighting. I love to fight, and that's just kind of my thing. So. Whatever happens that night, I'm just gonna go in there. I'm gonna give it my all, and we'll see what happens.
Are you watching the featherweight playoffs right now? The final four. Have you been watching the season so far?
Yeah, I've been keeping up with the guys. I haven't been watching them like every single one, but at least on Instagram, I've been watching the clips and stuff like that. I've been keeping up with who's doing well, who the newer people are. If I see like a prospect. Hold on, my battery. Okay, if there's like a prospect or something that's like upcoming, I always tune in. I always watch. I always see where they are at, and maybe that's gonna be a potential future matchup.
Yeah, there's so many, man, especially with the Bellator side as well. You mentioned earlier that you're gonna fight for them, so you go back and forth. It's a great opportunity for someone early in your early in your career, trying to build themselves up, man, because you never know what name's gonna come across your table. You have no idea.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's what's exciting about the sport. I think maybe after one or two fights, I'm really, really ready to make that step up. Have someone that's going to be, a top guy that maybe like a hype train, or maybe like someone that's like a prospect, whatever it is. I think that'd be great to get a fight like that.
For sure. August 2nd, PFL 7, Nashville, Tennessee. Alexei, thank you, man, so much for the time, and good luck on your acting career. But all the best in the fight.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you having the interview with me.